I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Okay, I'm going to do a little CSI update, because my plan is to mess with this for a little bit today and see if I can get it to where I want it to be. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the drilled out lock. And that nut was giving me a really hard time. I normally can just take channel locks and twist it off, but I don't know what it was. So I had to bust out these guys here. Wait, these vice grips and these are channel locks. I normally can get them off with the vice grips, but I needed to put the channel lock on it, and I still couldn't get enough leverage, so I took my vice grips to the channel locks and finally was able to break it free. I've never had to go to that extent, so I don't know what was going on with that, but that was cranked on there really good. So I'm going to change the lock, change the barrel spring, and do some minor Playfield touch-ups. I mean, cabinet touch-ups, like just a little bit of blue, a little bit of black. There, that's going to be the before, and then hopefully the after looks a little better. Maybe a couple little spots around here. Spend a little bit of time, and I can get this cabinet looking looking a little better. Maybe a little green there. Oh yeah, and I should clean off this paint or whatever. So I've got lots of little things I want to do. Install a tilt bob, vacuum out the cabinet, and yeah, so I'm excited to get this thing to where I want it to be, and then we can play it. Okay, new lock is installed. I went with the keyless, just because why not? And I have something somewhere that might work as a keychain. Let's see. I haven't really been in this bag yet. Let's see what we got. Okay, oh yeah, here we go. Decals, yeah, CSI and a CSI bullet. So I'll probably end up using one of those guys. Unless I don't have them on my wall, then they go on my wall. But I remember some bullets over here, but I think they were for Dirty Harry. Those guys, so, bit of a dilemma. Keychains are cool on a machine, but they're also cool on my wall. So, we'll see about that. It's too bad there wasn't doubles, but I thought I had another one of these, maybe? Guess not. Hey, oh yeah, that's the headlock. Okay, so, yeah, anyway, that lock's done. Oh, I'm in the middle of rebuilding the shooter rod here. Why do I always do that? So, it's a very cool shooter rod with the thumbprint on it, and it's not worn off, so that's pretty sweet. Here's the old barrel spring. You can see these are both the same 3/4 inch. One is worn down a little bit and doesn't look as healthy, so this guy's going on. I kind of destroyed the shooter tip while removing it, but I don't have black right now, so I'm just throwing white. But I may order some cool fluorescent green shooter tips to match the potential cliffy posts color choice that I might stick in the machine. So I've cleaned up the rad. I'm using steel wool, and I will install that. And the other thing, I've vacuumed out the cabinet. It wasn't bad, as one would expect. Only 2,800 plays. And I did install a tilt bob, so we'll have to test that out. Okay, so another thing, I guess I'll have to show you after because the Playfield's up, but I did find, where is the stuff I found? this is the stuff I found inside the cabinet. An Allen wrench, so someone was probably trying to, I don't know, use that for the back box at some point, or I don't know. It's a screw, a staple, and a washer. I actually know where the screw goes. It is the screw that holds down the trough. Can you see that? There's the trough there. There's a screw on each side. And the ball shot out. That's why I was going to show you after when I had the playfield down. But here we go. Here's a better view. I saw last night, the ball kicked out and then back into the trough, which is kind of common on Sterns. It happens. But it made me think to check the trough welds, because it is also common that those are broken. When I opened it up, I found that the screw on this side was missing. I've replaced it, but the hole was stripped, and it must have been done at the factory, because nobody would have had any reason to remove that. So I just kind of filled it with toothpicks and then put in a nice thick screw there, and it's on there good now. Hopefully it'll last. I'll have to check it in a few hundred plays and see how it's holding up. But when vacuuming the cabinet, I thought, oh, I wonder if I'm going to find a screw, and sure enough, I did. So I think that the Allen wrench was probably just someone trying to use this in the back box to unlatch it, but it's too small, not the right size. Staple, that's probably from the goodie bag. That's stapled to the inside of, here, look at this. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, I was doing some crime scene investigation inside the cabinet there. Oh, so it looks like green spring. I'm gonna install this now, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, that shooter rod is all happy now. Before you would pull it and just go kerplunk. Now we got action. Pretty sweet. Much better. Okay, plugging away, and let's talk about, see if I can remember everything I've done so far. The main thing is I've been installing these pretty awesome looking, kind of glow in the darkish green. These are from pinballleds.ca from Eddie Durazzo, and they're pretty friggin' cool. Oh, yeah, I got my flash on. So on some posts, you know, the diameter is a little bigger than others, and you know, on a game sometimes the post can raise up over time. This happened on my Monopoly, and I found a pretty easy solution. Just add some electrical tape around the post, and then it adds to the snug factor. If I didn't do that, that would literally be just kind of flopping around there. That will help ensure that it kind of stays in place and doesn't drift upwards. So that's looking pretty sweet. I'm happy about that. I removed this whole centrifuge plastic and cleaned that up, and this is basically just from the centrifuge alone. So yeah, they get dirty apparently. And then I've got my cloth with some Novus, so I've been kind of cleaning up as best as I can all the areas in the back here, because I'm not doing a full teardown on this. I just don't really see the need to, so I am cleaning it up as best as I can using my cloth, and then sometimes in the tricky areas I wrap my cloth around a screwdriver and try to get into certain spots. But it's actually coming up pretty good, coming out nicely. I installed nice, these are also pinballleds.ca, I believe. I have some from David Still, some from Eddie Durazzo, some from Comet Pinball. So you got a mix of everything. So those are all LEDs now. The previous owner put in different style LEDs, and I just went with these. They're warm, white, and they look good. I also got rid of all the pink flasher LEDs. There's 2 there. 3, 4, 5. I think I went with warm white on those as well. So I still got to clean the bottom half of the playfield. I've got to get the vacuum in back here now that that's more accessible. A few crumbs left there. Did I miss anything? I haven't done any touch-ups yet. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. But I really like the look of those green posts. I mean, it's a little bit of work to remove some of the stuff and then tape up each post so that they stay on there nicely, because these ones especially, those can drift up, but they were so loose that really if they drifted up they'd probably just flop back down. So in hindsight, now that they're grippy, they could drift up and stay up, but before, if I just left them, they would have been a little bit loose, but they would have never drifted up, I don't think. Anyway, I like the way that looks. I might do that guy there, possibly. Seems like a little bit more involved, but the front and center is done, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to clean up the rest of the playfield, and then all the orange targets. A couple of them are a little crooked, so I'll straighten those out, clean them up, and we'll be getting pretty close to where I want to be on this guy. Okay, I have finished cleaning the playfield. I was going to get in there and vacuum the very back of the cabinet. Pulled out the cabinet, the playfield, all the way out. And look what I found. Bonus. Boom. There's the tilt bob. It's hilarious. Alright, well, I'll just throw that back in my tilt bob bin, because the one I have in there is basically identical. Tilt bob parts. There she goes. Yeah, so I should really just show you this when the playfield's down, but oh well, I'm recording now, so check this out. Oh yeah, green flipper rubbers to match, and I changed that guy too. It was actually very easy. So playfield's cleaned. Oh, all the yellow targets are cleaned. I still got to straighten them out. They're a little crooked. A couple more guys over here. How are they looking? Yeah, they're looking good. And yeah, so this playfield is clean, novice, slick. And then I cleaned all the rubbers with rubbing alcohol. Oh, all the blue rubbers, blue nubs, I call them sometimes. They were, you know, caked with black, especially right along here. Where is it? It's upside down. All along there was a line of, where the hell? I got a little bit more there I can do. That was all black. So, and then there's lots of blue nubs on this guy. One here, another one here, but yeah, they're no longer black, so that's good. And I think that's about it, but yeah, nice find on the tilt bob. That was pretty sweet. Okay, this is probably the most cluttered and disastrous this games room has ever been. There is crap everywhere. But don't worry, don't fret. It will come back to order. Definitely. Hey! My skull flasher is now working. I think. It wasn't working before. Now it appears to be working. Hold on one moment. I hear Jamie. Jamie just came home, so perfect timing. I'll show you kind of the sort of finished product. There's still got a few things to do, but I've checked all the bulbs. I put in some select LEDs. I don't think you've ever seen this machine before. I don't know why you would have, but come take a look at CSI. Jamie loves her crime scene type movies, so this theme, I mean documentaries too, this theme is right up your alley, so you might actually like to play it. So I put on the green flipper rubbers, I changed all the spotlights to LEDs, I put in a couple LEDs, the red ones there, and then these green posts everywhere, because they kind of go with the color scheme. And cleaned up the playfield. But yeah, this is what it looks like on. Yeah, all polished up and ready to go. Had a few light bulbs out. The A and D and A. Shout out to Daryl. And this LED was out, but it is pretty much ready to go. Well, I still got everything on the to-do list except for like 2 things. But, oh no, cliffies, and maybe skull flashers. My skull flashers seem to all of a sudden work. They weren't working in switch test, so there it is, CSI. Okay, I checked and my skull flashers are still not working. There are 3 flashers in the skull. One there, and one in behind there, the red dome there you can see. Well, what was tricking me was these guys reflecting off Skull's forehead. So I still got to sort that out. Maybe it's a fuse, maybe it's wiring, not sure yet. What I did was get rid of the paint on the edge there, and then I also touched up the cabinet. So if you remember before, it looked a little bit, you know, you can kind of see where my blue doesn't match perfectly, right? Around the start button looks better. And, you know, I did a few spots on the cabinet and head, but you won't be able to see those because it's black on black, and that's the way you want it. You don't want to be able to see the touch-ups. So I spent maybe 20 minutes or something just doing some miscellaneous touch-ups. So it's better than it was. Not perfect, but I like it. And then, oh yeah, I've been meaning to show you this for fun. Audits. Let's go to earnings. Total paid credits 4. And apparently there were 4 loonies in the machine. And then standard audits. There it is, 2,804 plays. But also we are on version 1.14 or 1.4 or something. 1.02. And the current version is 2.04, I believe, or 2.4. So we've got to update the software. That's next. So what else can I do? Cab touch-ups. I can cross that off the list. And I'm kind of keeping track just for fun how much money I'm spending on this thing. The locks, like maybe $5. LEDs, actually I put in more since then. Let's call LEDs 20. Tilt bob, I can cross that off. That's sweet because I found the tilt bob. Shooter, spring, and tip, you know, that's like basically $2. Barely need to track that. Software will be free. Flipper parts. PPER, flipper parts. I'll be redoing the flippers. So probably not much. They're not that old. So at least sleeves and and Kevin has just texted me a couple photos. So I bet my whirlwind parts are plugging along. So I'm excited to check that out. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I'm pretty close to having this where I want it to be. So what should I do? Maybe I'll do the flipper rebuild. That's not really anything you're gonna see though. Basically the cosmetics I think are done. That's the main thing for visual stimulation. Flipper rebuild, code update, that's not really gonna do much. And skull flashers, yeah, you'll see some blinky lights one day in the back. More blinky lights. But yeah, so I think CSI is gonna be, I gotta level it. Let's write that down. Level. And then this should be ready to go for the weekend, and we can explore the wonders of CSI. One more thing. Battery. Make sure that battery in there is okay. If not, I'll change it. I'll test the voltage on it. And I don't care about my settings because this code is going bye-bye. So CSI, welcome to the lineup, and think you will enjoy your stay here. I know I will. And not as in I will enjoy my stay here because I live here, but I will enjoy its stay here. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.